actually established in January, some say 31st, some say 13. They got it mixed up. But it was in January of 1929, probably about 6 to 7 months before Noble Drew Ali left the physical plane. And there's also information as to all of those who responded to the fatwa in disrespect of the Holy Prophet, because according to the brother who brought it to them, said that he was trying to bring a teaching that he said was more ancient than the teaching that they had. And what it is what people fail to realize, is the mission of Noble Drew Ali was a mission that was given to him by the great God of Allah. Meaning that his mission was to uplift his people. His mission was to uplift fallen humanity. His mission was to teach their people their nationality and their divine creed. And neither did he swerve nor sway in executing his mission. Now, when you get into the particulars, if you would like, why would this brother even go to Egypt? He left here purposely, went out his way in order to try to get information, in order to, you can say, discredit the prophethood of Noble Drew Ali. But what he failed to realize is that though Noble Drew Ali met with people on the surface level, those who commissioned him were among the Silent Brotherhood. In the Silent Brotherhood were those who initiated him. And for those of you who are naysayers that begin to think about shrinery and masonry and all of that right there, I say again, it's not in the nature of a God man to enslave his people. And surely if he would have been under oath, he wouldn't have broke away from the Canaanite temple that had Masonic roots. And there are many other individuals who had Masonic roots that our Holy Prophet disassociated himself with, because he was not a Mason. He was a mastermind. He was a Cometian adept. There's a great difference between Masonry and self-mastery. Not only is there a difference between Masonry and self-mastery, really there's no such existence, I put it that way, as a black Mason. Prince Hall Masonry, even to the European, is considered spurious or clandestine. Still ain't really accepted now in this time. And also, according to their documents, you can never be a Mason and be black, as they call it. Because your characteristics, your struggle, your social condition, it won't allow you to take this type of status to be able to participate in charitable events. So they don't care nothing for you from that standpoint. So when you get into dealing with talking about these terms as well as Negro, black, and colored, all of these are terms that were given to you by the European in his law. Negro was a term that was given to you, which if you trace the root back, it goes back to necrosis, necro, which means to be dead. Okay. When you deal with being black, this has to do with the black code laws that was established by the European. Now, as far as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad goes, I know why he changed the terminology that he used when he referred to the people, and he no longer used the terms that the Moors were using during that time. He did it because of the behavior of the Moors after they had killed the prophet. Not only did they kill the prophet, but they changed the laws and tore down and drug out the true foundation that he brought. So when you begin to deal with also the wearing of the fez, the reason why the Honorable Elijah Muhammad stopped that in about 1935, I think it was, he did that because he didn't want to be associated with the madness of the Moors, who were in a disarray at the time. Due to power struggles. And he took the term black and he redefined the word. He didn't take it as it was, because even in the teaching of the early definitions of the Nation of Islam, they would show you right there in the dictionary that the European wrote the word down as black meaning something evil, something dirty, dead. White meaning something pure. The nation taught this, still teach that to the day. But what he did is he redefined the word, and I respect his definition of the word, because he took his definition from the essence of creation and told the people that black is not a color, but it is the essence from which all color comes. Black represents the universe, therefore having no beginning nor ending. That definition from him I can accept. But the fact of the matter is that according to the Europeans, the term black means exactly what everyone, even you, knows that it has been defined in. If you look in the dictionary, you'll see it that way today. And our people as a whole are not a black people. This is a description, not a nationality. Black is not a nationality. It is a classification. And we're going to separate the classification that the European had given from the definition or redefining that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad brought. So now, when you begin to deal with the term white, the term white was actually a term that dealt with status, even though you reject it. Go to the Sundry Act of 1790. Those who were subjects of the Sultan of Morocco, when the treaty was written and all that type of stuff right there, it applied to those individuals. But there's a catch-22 to that. Even the Sundry Act and the Treaty of Morocco wasn't for the Moors, because the Sultan even engaged in the trading and the selling of the Moors, sold the brothers out. So when we say that we are Moorish Americans, we don't mean that we are descendants of the Moroccans. We are descendants of the ancient Moabites, the mothers and fathers of Morocco. These are our children. That's why you got them running around here today calling themselves Moroccan Americans. And all of those who fly that Moroccan flag look foolish. Because why would you fly the flag of another nation when the nation don't even recognize you as such? And this is the problem with the Moors. So we got some problems. I'm unbiased. I'm speaking truth. Because I'm getting tired of seeing those who claim that they are so knowledgeable in opposition, man, tearing our community apart. That go for the MST of A. That go for those in the NOI. That go for those who follow Garvey. And we can go all the way on down the list. And I am a true patriarch of Noble Drew Ali. And I can say that the Moors ain't where they supposed to be right now. But none of us are what we are supposed to be right now. That's why everybody always looking for somebody else to come back and straighten it out and right the wrongs. So the problem is at hand, you know, but the solution has not been brought to the table. And when you get to dealing with this term, white, even according to Islamic teaching, you'll find out that the term white was never meant to refer to a person's race. The European took that title because he knew the spiritual meaning of it. He knew that the spiritual meaning of this title represented being in your higher self, being God. And this is what the Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali meant when he said that white means purity and God of the land. So as far as dealing with, you know, I heard you, Brother Ali, speak of the Prophet speaking of those 72,000 soldiers that became manifest after he threw the sand up in the air. But what you fail to realize is our Holy Prophet not only spoke on the physical level, but he also spoke on metaphysical levels. And his spirit was a manifestation or extension of what you recognize today and everybody else as the Logos. And when he spoke and said that he did this back then, he was saying that he had the same spirit of Yahushua that was in that time and was manifesting that in this time. You should know that, and I know you do. But your madness and your opposition has causing you to strike out at a brother who demonstrated the ultimate sacrifice. He gave his life to uplift his people. Are you willing to give your life in order to uplift your people? It's easy to talk about it, but how many are really willing to be about it? And also, to Lord ABBA, very confused brother. So I don't believe that he can defend himself against you if he tried. This brother here has a seal with the American eagle with the fez on his head. Last time I checked, the prophecy stated, whithersoever the carcass is, the eagles will be gathered. And we know that the carcasses are symbolic to the dead, or as they call them, black people. And if this is indeed the case, then why in the hell would you place a sacred headdress upon the head of a scavenger which is seeking to devour you? And then within the talons of the eagle, hoisting both of the flags that represent the nations that have participated in your slavery. One being the seller and the other being the buyer. And we're going to get into this more later. And as for you, Brother SETI, brother, I just say, you know, I just look at you as an agent, because I've seen you do nothing but cause confusion within the midst of our people. And as far as, you know, that black power outfit that you have on, brother, You know, that's a bunch of bouflé. I studied up under a brother who studied up under the sister Afeni Shakur. I got a lot of traditional history that was given to me that was never even written in books. And you running around here talking about black power and you trying to overthrow everything else that had to do with our unity. Man, get your mind right. And I seen you go in the city hall and you sat in there like a church mouse. Where they do that at? Everybody out here trying to slander individuals that ain't here to defend themselves. But I'm letting you know now, the time has come. And justice is on the manifest. The sword of Ali has been unsheathed. And that's not a threat. That's not a threat. Intellectually, you will be removed. You will be exposed. So keep pulling them pebbles out of the shallow stream of your mind and casting that doubt to shatter the minds of the masses. Because we here now. And you know the truth will knock the brains out of falsehood. That's what the Grand Quran of Muhammad states. And the truth is on the manifest now. So take it for what it is or let it alone. Stop perpetrating and misleading our people, causing them to be divided, that they may be further then conquered. You need to be worrying about what these Europeans got planned for you. So with that, I'm going to end this first session because I got to make a run.